But no para, o sea, yo no le estoy quitando el respeto que le tengo a Timbo. Timbaland is a legend. He's a teacher of mine and everything. But this video, this video got me thinking that he maybe he wasn't who I thought he was. In the sense of music mogul, how I just distinguish the difference between music mogul and entrepreneur. Yo creo que Timbaland is leaning more on the entrepreneur side, even though he's a musical genius, and that I feel like it's strange to me. I feel like Timbaland's a stranger to me because of that. Let's listen to this video here.
AI is ruining music. Whatever. Go ahead and cry me a river, since Timbo Stamp is on that too.
AI taking your spot, but your songs barely mix. Why would we train it on that?
That's a shot at artists thinking that Timbaland is hosting these lives every week and taking our music and training the AI on our music. That's a fair question to ask. Porque si tú consideras the fact that for years now, he's been listening to these thousands of songs, thousands of artists, oversaturating the ear, right? Because how many songs do you listen to a day on a regular?
Let's unpack that.
All right, well, welcome to another case of artist turned streamer. This is something that I've been giving thought for a while, but after last night, this live that I went into with Timbaland's live actually, and him signing an AI artist, I figured, hey, this is the best time to start streaming and start the podcast again. Porque dime, ¿en qué estamos? Welcome, guys. Here's what we're going into. Let's start with what's really going on with Timbo. So last night in particular, he was live on Instagram, I think on multiple platforms, but he was live and he opened up. Usually he goes up live for these reviews. He calls it Timbo I Do. And it's these certain music reviews. I think it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I have participated myself twice actually. Where I have sent them music of my own, so that they review. You know, we do this for feedback and stuff like that. Let me know too in the chat if y'all can't hear me, because I'm using this mic for the first time on the live stream and I don't know si está funcionando. Pero blessings, right? So let's read on what's going on with this artist. So here's the headline on Music Radar. Tata is a living, learning, autonomous music artist built with AI. She's the first artist of a new generation. Timbaland just created an entirely artificial artist, and its debut single is out soon. Ya tú sabes. Timbaland has co-founded the company Stage Zero alongside his creative partner Zayed Portillo. Zaid Portillo, and filmmaker Rocky Mudaliar. I wonder if this Rocky is the same one that was on the chat in the live yesterday, because he was kind of quiet from what I've seen. I didn't see the whole thing, but I'm gonna give y'all some of the highlights of what is circulating from these past 2-3 days. This weekend has just been crazy with AI, the news, man, immigration, you know, a lot of like divergence that's going on with the news on the left and the right, just to like steer us away from things like this too, where you know, a lot of these industries are getting disrupted by AI, and the new big beautiful bill that Trump is trying to push is, I think, I haven't read it completely, but I think it's giving like a mandate for 10 years. Obviously he's not going to be president for 10 years. Lo digo yo ahora. Cualquier cosa. We all know that Trump is not a guy that really follows guidelines and rules per se and laws, because he makes his own or bends them in a way where he finds loopholes. He's great for that. So who's to really say he's not going to be president in the next 10 years? Pero for the next 10 years, if this bill does get passed, then AI is like a free spirit. Oh man. AI is a free spirit. Déjame seguir aquí. Being the logical extension of his work with Suno that saw him spending 10 hours a day experimenting with the platform. Okay. I saw a path, he told Rolling Stone, but I had to wait till everything caught up. Guys, let's go to what I've been doing some research here to try to find out the exact things, point by point. Yeah. All right. Let's go here. Timbaland has officially started a record label where he just signs artists made out of AI. So the producer that officially launched Stage Zero, a new AI powered entertainment to make pop music out of AI. Oye ahora. This is the real of the pic. Okay. This is that girl that you see right here is the image, the conjured image of this AI artist. Her name is Tata, according to these articles. Now let's get to this too. Then I don't know if you guys are getting this audio from the computer. Ojalá que sí.
Yo, in today's news of artists are never satisfied.
That's Ray Daniels. I want to show y'all what he's talking about. Oh man, what's going on here? Hello everyone. Hi Kaylee, Nikki baby. Deja ver si can y'all let me know in the chat right here on IG, because I'm live on YouTube too for the first time, but I don't know if anyone's gonna go in there because I don't do this. Can y'all let me know here on Instagram if y'all can hear this audio on my computer here? Let me see. Y ahora no encuentro. I was just on it. Here we go.
Yo, in today's news of artists are never satisfied. Artists are never happy. This is why executives, producers, stuff of that nature don't work with artists. First of all, the Timbaland, who has super producer, who has I see.
Okay, I see a yes. Okay, I see a yes. Thank you. Puerto, I almost call you Puerto Rican Chinita. Thank you, Chinita.
And as many artists he can.
All right. So this is Ray Daniels, executive producer. He has held many roles in the music. He's responding to what's going on with the AI and Timbaland. Let's listen to this.
And decides he's going to play in the AI world, which why the fuck wouldn't you? Like, let me tell you what an AI thing is. Let me tell you what an AI character is. Mickey Mouse is an AI character. Donald Duck is an AI character. Bugs Bunny is an AI character. You guys are looking at it wrong. He's going to make a character that he can have sing songs and things of that nature.
Now, yo estaba escuchando esto and I'm like, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Not perfect sense, not all the sense. It makes lots of sense ethically. If you think about Bugs Bunny, if you think about Mickey Mouse, these are all something that have been created and then used as a conduit for entertainment. So whatever message goes through this character, whatever type of music, whatever frequency comes through this character is used as the funnel, right? So it's just like another face, right? Another voice in this case, because it's music, right? So it's another voice just put onto on something else from humans, supuestamente. Vamos a escucharlo.
Products. That's all these cartoonists and all these young kid TV shows are doing anyway. So why y'all mad at him? Plus, do you know how hard it is to push an artist? They gonna tell you I don't want to do that. Jimmy Iovine famously told me one day, get you something that don't talk back. What is better than an AI artist that don't talk back? And we're still mad at him.
All right, that's petty for me. You know what I mean? That's just petty thinking. And not to take away from my guy, because this is my guy. Ray Daniels is someone that I look up to for years. Not to take away from him, but it is like an entrepreneurship mindset. That's how I look at it. Like, it's capitalism, right? If you're gonna be looking at an industry of any type, anything that that you need money to make money from. I don't know if I'm getting away from the mic and y'all can't hear me, but anything that you need to invest to have a ROI, a return on your investment, you're gonna look at it as like, okay, where can we shave? Where can we cut costs? Where can we save and increase our bottom line? ¿Verdad? Porque ya that's the mindset, that's the mentality you have to run a business. my man Ray Daniels is on that mind state. Like, what's better than if you need an artist to create, to have an artist that can't talk back? That's this. I feel like he's just rage baiting. Que eso es lo que le dicen. That's what they call it. You know what I mean? They rage baiting. Speaking of which, there's another clip I need to find. Speaking about rage baiting.
Somebody just called me like, what you think about what Timbaland did? And then Vulturist. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, that's all he said there. All right, so I kept investigating on, okay, ¿qué es lo que piensan entonces esta gente in the chat? This occurred yesterday. Fan calls out Timbaland on IG Live. I haven't heard of this guy. I'm definitely, if you guys know who this guy is, let me know, because I definitely want to check the post that he's referring to. They're referring to a certain post here that he put up in response to what Timbaland put up about signing the AI artist. And they let him in. Like, aquí está. So this is the guy that I was wondering. On the right is Push Art Rocky, which I feel like that's probably who they were talking about here in this article that he teamed up with. Producer Rocky Mudalia, film producer. Suno, I'm spending. Okay, yeah. So I feel like that might have been him. I didn't recognize him either. Until yesterday. Yeah, that was it, right? Entonces, my man here, Young Guru. You know, Young Guru, for those who don't know, is legend of engineers, right? Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kanye worked with best of the best and is OG in the game. So for those who y'all don't know, and that's Tim right there. So this guy on the right, in the bottom aquí, se llama John Wall. Creo yo. Usted me dicen, if y'all know this guy, I'm trying to find the post that they're going to be reflecting on right here. But he said something that really touched me, because this is the reason why, you know, I'm starting what we're doing right now, and these discussions on unpacking. I'm starting a podcast channel where it's going to be called Unpack, and we're going to be unpacking situations like this. We're going to be unpacking the workings, the inner workings of music, catalogs, artists, you know, and unpacking all the way into like a profound level of even where it comes, where it originates from, where's the root, hopefully seeking the creative alchemy that comes from our spirituality realm, you know, when God walks in the room and while we're creating and blesses the project in the sense of ideas, you know, the fluidity that comes out through us. And we know how to respond to that as conduits. That's what artists, musicians, producers, that's what we are. That's what we fine tune every day that we're in these studios and doing these things. We're fine tuning the antenna to receive the signals, the messages, the options for offerings, you know. So this guy John Wall said something really profound. Check out what he says. Listen to this guy.
Which I'm not stupid. I use ChatGPT to script out screenplays, things like that. I use ChatGPT on a daily to think of content ideas, to do the menial task, the meaningless task.
I'm trying to see if I could bring it back to the beginning of the clip, so we can see the whole thing, because it's important that y'all catch his passion, his passion behind all this. Déjame. Don't panic. Shout out to Don't Panic, because I'm getting it on your page, brother. He posted the whole clip here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Dang it. Is it real steep in the timeline, bro? My bad, guys. I should have been better prepared with this. I just want it. Let me see. Maybe I could just go back now and start the clip over if I press back. ¿Qué pasa?
I mean, everything about it, bro. I'm not double backing on it. Respect to your legacy, I would say. What I view this as right now is a betrayal to artists everywhere, bro. What you're doing is you're backdooring us. You got into a position of power, and instead of choosing to unionize and fight against this AI, which I'm not stupid. I use ChatGPT to script out screenplays, things like that. I use ChatGPT on a daily to think of content ideas, to do the menial task, the meaningless task that a robot should do. I'm a spiritual person, and I believe that artists all are tapped into a divine entity, right? When you go and you start creating and you allow some fucking robot to come in and finish your song, you're cutting yourself off from the divine. And let me not even get that deep with it. What I think you're doing is you're doing something that's, in a sense,
My bad, guys.
demonic, bro. And I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but it feels demonic. You're choosing to go against us all and put this robot, instead of signing an artist, instead of having someone who has a voice that you could put on and put on your platform. All these motherfuckers you had on the live, all this cool shit you were doing, you choose to go in this direction. John.
All right, so the live that he's referring to is the Timbo I Do that he hosts on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I have participated. Timbaland hosts these lives with Creator God, which is there on the live as well. This live is that live. Like, I think it started out like that. You know lo vi until like probably like 11 o'clock at night. They start like at 9. Pero so these lives, independent artists go in, like me, present 1 to 3 songs, preferably 3. We pay for this entry, so you pay to be a part of the live session. And I think they have a playlist on Spotify that they accept, the guys that they like, the artists that they like, and the songs that they like, they accept it and add it to their playlist. Pero, it's entertainment. So for the sake of entertainment, they, let me get that de aquí del screen. For the sake of entertainment, they clown, I guess. I don't want to say they clown. I didn't feel like I was clowned, right? I didn't feel like I got clowned in the show. As far as like, why'd you send me this kind of music or whatever it was, like I got that type of resistance in the first one, I think. But ya by the second time, ya yo tenía my idea, and I only went with one song anyways, which was Hidden Blessings, the single that I was releasing last month. So and I didn't get no crazy feedback on that either. But that's the point there, is that we pay to submit our music and listen to these guys critique the song, and then it becomes like, for the sake of entertainment, they got all these little, like they got Kai Cenat clips that come up, like, what am I listening to? Like little funny things that we all laugh at, because ¿qué podemos decir? It sparks the laughter. It hits that vein where you just gotta laugh at yourself types. You know what I mean? So it's like, and they do that well, but at the same time, a lot of these artists, we're talking about thousands of artists, guys. These guys have been hosting this live Timbo I Do for years. I think in the live yesterday, Young Guru, unless he was wrong, because I've only noticed it for the past 2 years, I think. Unless he was wrong, but he mentioned it was like 4 or 5 years. So si eso es verdad, Timbaland has been sitting in his lab there con Creator God y la gente que están involved, listening to thousands of independent artists and their music, even more music, because every artist submit like 3 songs, and critique. And now there's this backlash against the fact that he's doing that and then training the AI on the artist. Ahí está el bobo. ¿Me llegaste? Ahí está el problema. Now, let's go to this. Y'all probably thinking it was some kinky stuff or something when I brought this girl up by accident. But this is a artist named by Zara Scully. Never heard of her before. Again, I've been doing this research on what's going on with Timbaland and the AI stuff. So this is what's been popping up. Scully is. Thanks guys for joining. Que lo que chapu. So Scully is an artist. Let me put her up here so y'all can see what's going on. Esta la altita. Scully is an artist that Timbaland reached out to. And I guess I've been working with, where she has been sending Timbaland music, and she's claiming that the AI artist Tata that Timbaland just signed is trained on her voice. Let's hear what you got to say.
Like, I've been sending Tim my vocals. I've been writing for his AI. he'll send me a beat for me to pen and sing on my Logic, and then I send it to him, and he has AI sing it. And I'm always asking him, like, can I just sing it? Like, I sound good. And but yeah, he always has his AI sing it. So when he posted on his Instagram reels of the and looking at the something on be right, I'm probably sound like you don't. It's like, that's my tone. That's exactly how I say my D's when I sing. That's exactly, literally my voice. So just love that. But
The fit.
Here we go with the commercials. So, ¿quién dice que what she's saying is true or not? You know, this is what she's claiming. I did go back and listen to the little commercial. I don't know if you guys have seen that commercial. It pops out on my Instagram all the time. Just like the algorithm is favoring what you like. But since I like music stuff, that's what it favors for me. No sé if y'all seen the commercial of Suno, which is the company that Timbaland teamed up with. Pero in that little clip, he's using that song that she sang. And it does sound like her. You know, so it's like, who's to know? Who's to tell? I mean, Timbaland hasn't responded to that either. Pero esto es lo que está pasando, right? So if we go here, let me put y'all on to this gentleman, Mikey Showman se llama. Mikey Showman is the CEO of Suno, which is the guy that's currently in partnership with Timbaland. And now I can't find the video of him. Deja ver si está. There's this video where Mickey, maybe it's Mickey. I'm messing it up. Where he speaks about artists not having fun. O sea, musicians, producers, artists, everyone under that umbrella isn't having fun doing music anymore. O sea, you know, you make music because it's not fun, you know, and then those people, oh, here we go, I found the video. And those people just need to have, you know, need to have it easier. Let's see what he has to say here. This is an interview that was viral not too long ago. Vamos a escuchar.
Run.
It's not really enjoyable to make music now.
Why do you say that?
It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of practice. You need to get really good at an instrument or really good at a piece of production software. I think the majority of people don't enjoy the majority of the time they spend making music.
Do you not think that's like running? It is hard to run. It is painful to run. You don't particularly enjoy it, but you love running and you get good at it and you get better at it and you speak to the runners and they love running.
Most people drop out of that pursuit because it was hard. I think that the people that you know that run, this is a highly biased selection of the population that fell in love with it.
Okay, a highly biased, what's the word? A highly biased percentage of the population? Like, what does that even mean? Okay, so vamos, let's unpack
biased
that.
Selection of the population that fell in love with it.
Let's unpack that real quick. Oiga, if you are identifying a group of a percentage of population as highly biased, right? That bias that they have, that he's identifying as bias, is basically the intuitive energy. O sea, damn, how can I put this in a clear way? La musa. So when you hear creative talking about se me fue la musa, I don't have the muse, you know, like writer's block, these type of terms that people bring up when it comes to creating and writing music or even writing a book, you know, just creatives in general. This is a blockage. We all, and it's not something that happens willingly, or it happens sporadically under, because it's unconscious to us, but it's not sporadic either. It's supposed to happen to us because we're humans and we live under a human condition where our routines and habits and responsibilities. Esta mosca me está matando, loco, la paciencia. The responsibilities that we have, the routines that we have to carry every day, it's gonna have our minds in compartmentalized. So when it comes to a compartmentalized mind, we're gonna lose the muse sometimes. We're gonna have blockages. It becomes quote unquote hard, como dijo el pana. Pero that's not the case. He's like, I feel like I'm being sold to. Like, oh, it's a highly biased percentage of the population. Like we're all highly biased now because of our creative, downfalls when we can't create it as well and as easy. So what he's doing is basically, and this is what I'm saying, the mindset of an entrepreneur is different of a music mogul. Cuando tú hablas de music moguls, and including Timbaland himself, right? Which now is where that line for me, at least as a purist, to me, Timbaland is a legend. I've been wanting to work with him forever, and I've met him plenty of times in my career, even just following him around, going to his concerts and stuff. He's still top 10 concerts. Oh yeah, top 10 concerts, and he's a producer. Pa que tú veas how much I appreciate his work and enjoy. Ya me fui in a tangent and I forgot my point. Oh, the mind state between a music mogul and an entrepreneur is different, man. They have their North Star, their directions, their path are different. Okay, Diddy, con todo lo que está pasando, el Palomo, Diddy is the person that curates minds, great minds together, great sounds. Pharrell, same thing. Kanye, Timbo, Dre. O sea, legends, ¿verdad? When you hear those names, tú piensas legends. But what I'm starting to find out is that when you meet your heroes, you get, avoid that, supposedly that, I even forget what the phrase is. I don't believe it's true because I believe that the human condition is equal to everyone. We're all human, ¿verdad? So not everyone's going to show up how you want them or expect them to show up, especially if you pedestalize the person. If you use celebrity, if you view celebrity as a certain type of degree of person, mind, soul, then you're kind of degrading yourself in a sense. And that's where those type of critiques come from, like, oh, I lost the fantasy of this person. But yes, that's your fault that you had that fantasy in the first place. But no para, o sea, yo no le estoy quitando el respeto que le tengo a Timbo. Timbaland is a legend. He's a teacher of mine and everything. But this video, got me thinking that he maybe he wasn't who I thought he was. In the sense of music mogul, how I just distinguish the difference between music mogul and entrepreneur, just entrepreneurship mentality. Yo creo que Timbaland is leaning more on the entrepreneur side, even though he's a musical genius, and that's where I feel like it's strange to me. I feel like Timbaland's a stranger to me because of that. Let's listen to this video here. So this is an interview where they have clips of like artists talking about behind the music, behind the songs. And here we're talking about Omarion. I think it's on screen. Yeah. Omarion's Icebox. Let's listen to what one of my, I'm a fan of hers too, one of my good artist friends, Carrie Hilson, has to say. Carrie Hilson reveals that it's not actually Timbaland doing the iconic I'm So Cold part on Omarion's hit Icebox. Oigan aquí.
Hi, my name is Carrie Hilson, and this is the pin behind some iconic songs. Icebox for Omarion. I barely remember how this all happened, but I remember that I had the track It was from King and John, who were called Royal Court, and they were in Timbaland, who I was signed to. We are at the studio. It's myself, it's JQ, it's Ezekiel Lewis. I have a secret about that song. So everything that you hear, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold. That is actually not Timbaland's voice. I coached Ezekiel Lewis, one of the co-writers, on sounding exactly like Tim. But I will say it was done with the intention that Timbaland would record it. We were like, so yeah, this is the part that you'll sing, you know, this section right here, that's you. Obviously it sounds just like you. And he's like, yeah, it sounds just like me. I'm not gonna do it. And we were like, we kind of want it to be authentic. Like, we think you wanna just do it now? He's like, sounds just like you. I think he was eating a banana or something. He's like, it sounds just like me. It sounds just like me. There's no need for that. Hi, my name is Carrie Hills.
Entonces, bro, entonces. Man, that really broke paradigm of how I viewed. I know it might sound simple. It might sound like well, it's not even a big deal. Pero it broke a certain paradigm for me. Porque oye lo que pasa. If he doesn't care, like even back in the day, we're talking about Omarion. When was that released? That was released a minute ago. We're talking about Omarion Icebox years ago. En esos tiempos, Timbo was already on some. He was okay with replacing himself in the song, just because somebody else sounded like it. You know what I mean? To me, that's just like, man, if you're so easy to give up the seat in the sense of like your own creative alchemy, entonces, claro que he's the one to pioneer the AI space. It just makes sense. You know, it makes sense that he's the one that's trailblazing. Okay, vamos a llegar. Todo fue para llegar a esto, señores. Because I don't want to make these episodes on some like rage baiting, you know, trying to get clicks or anything. This is really to unpack situations, unpack songs, layer by layer, get behind what's going on with these things. And you know, I'm going to give y'all my insight, at least into my journalism. En lo que hago. Pero aquí termino, right? This clip where he was getting called out, the full clip where I stopped it is not the full clip. He was getting called out by John Wall. ¿Verdad? That's the clip that's been going around though. Like they stop it there when Timbaland's about to, you know, jump back and respond to him. That's not how it's been going around. So I stopped it where they've been stopping it. But there's something important that Timbo said right after to respond to John Wall. Vamos a escuchar. Voy a ponerlo en pantalla aquí. Escuche.
Did you just hear what I just did over there? I do that, John.
Hey, John.
And then you going by headlines, and I ain't do nothing. I ain't show you nothing. No, you going by headline. I ain't say nothing. That's why we up here, John. You ain't seen. You saw a picture. Correct? You ain't hear no music. You ain't hear me play nothing. You ain't hear me. You don't even know what I'm building. You just went off because you don't like, you thinking I'm doing something with AI and you just upset. But you never asked me. You never asked me. Think about it, John. You know you're wrong. You never had a conversation with me. You just went off of a title. Everybody did.
Who posted it though? Who posted it?
Yeah, a guy who, you know, interviewed, they're going to make it look like something. We already knew this.
Now, no, espérate. That was, I feel like that was planned. He's talking about the interview, the content creators, o sea, los mismos podcasters kind of baiting this and making it like seem like this is what Timbaland said. Pero I think that's just another tactic. Yo en verdad pienso, especially after the research that I did today, you know, with the icebox situation and the trolling, que yo no te enseño, I'm gonna close with the trolling video. Because y'all gotta see this, bro. So Timbaland put up a video in response to the so-called thing going viral. You know, they made it seem. That's him. They made it seem like that's what he was saying. No, that was what he was saying. This is the video that he put up trolling artists.
Whatever. AI is ruining music. Whatever. Go ahead and cry me a river, since Timbo Stamp is on that too.
AI taking your spot, but your songs barely mix. Why would we train it on that?
Okay, so that's a shot. That's a shot at artists thinking that Timbaland is hosting these lives every week and taking our music and training the AI on our music. Now, that's a fair assessment. That's a fair question to ask. Porque si tú consideras the fact that for years now, he's been listening to these thousands of songs, thousands of artists, oversaturating the ear, right? Because how many songs do you listen to a day on a regular basis? Pa tú escuchar for like 2 or 3 hours, 3 days a week, 3 songs per artist. You know what I mean? He's definitely oversaturated his ear because there's no other way that you can put that. But it was a shot to, I'd be remiss to say that I wouldn't think myself that he was not him in general, but that AI is, that Suno is, that Udio, which is another program that AI is integrating. I mean that they're integrating AI for the same thing to create these songs. That they're taking the music that's doing well and training the AI on that. Claro que sí. O sea, what is AI? Think about it. It's artificial intelligence. Artificial comes from something. Am I speaking in the? Artificial comes from something that's already created, ¿verdad? Entonces, artificial, you're putting you're giving the element of the artificial soul. You're giving the power where God steps in the room, the soul steps in the room, the intuitive thought, the spirit, the conduit of the purity of our light, right? As creatives, we're giving that power and handing it over to the tools to make it artificial. So now it's not only the consequence and the result that's artificial, it's the intent behind it. Listen to this.
Man, y'all scared of AI, but record every hook in Melodyne.
Auto-tune is AI, baby. Y'all just didn't complain till it started writing better hooks than you.
Yo, petty, bro. I didn't know Timbo was petty like this. Okay, first of all, Melodyne is not AI. Melodyne, for those who knows, engineers and producers, Melodyne is a program, a software that's like Auto-Tune where you manually tune your vocals. You can time stretch vocals, you can decompress, and you can manually tune them, right? Auto-Tune is, again, you can call it AI, but it's computing is what it is. It's a software. Our applications are AI, if you want to put it under that category, right? So Auto-Tune is AI in the sense of it's used in that certain tool. But the AI tools that we have now, it has the element where we surrender and forfeit our soul. Lo que yo estaba diciendo ahorita is just as simple as that. We're giving the power of where we step in, where we let God work through us as a vessel and create, right? And give it to Suno, give it to Udio, give it to these AIs to do it themselves. Auto-Tune's not doing that. Auto-Tune, tú le tienes que cantar primero, record the vocals, and then run it through Auto-Tune, and Auto-Tune is going to set you up. So, and even that, you still have to kind of manually tweak some things because it might be off still. You know what I mean? It's not AI as into the extent that we're referring to.
Timbo ain't the villain. He just not babysitting y'all no more. You want opportunity, but ain't got output.
You want opportunity, but ain't got output. That's the entrepreneur mind. You got it. Petty because he's talking about he's telling independent artists, you want more opportunity, you cry for more opportunities, but you don't have the output to present to these opportunities. Entonces AI is going to replace that, of course, because AI, especially like in Suno, let's say you put a prompt in, una canción de fulano que diga the concept about this and blah blah blah. And it'll spit out 2 versions. Every time you put a prompt, it'll spit out 2 different versions of what you asked for. O sea,
You worried about AI stealing your sound? Bro, you ain't got one.
Trolling.
Who am I kidding? I ain't had no bars to begin with.
AI is
Again, that's the video that he pulled out trolling. Ahora, I'm not gonna just call out Timbo like that and not show y'all the next post, because the next post he admitted to it. I know I'm trolling, but let's have a real conversation. I love my independent artists. This doesn't mean I'm not working with real artists anymore, and I don't train AI off your music. This just means more creativity for creators. Going live tomorrow, and then that was the live that we're speaking on. Let me finish that video with John, so y'all see what Timbo has to say in response to John Wall. So if you're just joining now, John Wall, un artista that I've been trying to find. If you guys know, esta moca del TH. Si ustedes saben who's this artist, put me on. Send me on, tag me or something. I'm trying to find what post that he put up. I like his standpoint. I like where he's coming from, because I definitely resonate with his point. It's the way that I look at things spiritually. And he spoke on that and called them out on this being demonic, right? So aquí Timbaland was responding, you're reacting to a headline. Let's hear what Timbaland had to respond to that.
We knew, but the conversation was to get this conversation of talking about AI. We're talking about something that people are not having a conversation about, and it's going to leave us left behind if we don't figure out solutions. That's all I'm saying. I don't have an AI. How can I have an AI artist, John? It's nothing there.
So this is rage bait, bro?
No, it's not rage bait. No,
He's saying it's not rage bait. Pero that trolling video is rage bait. O sea, I understand that Timbaland is one of the people like Donald Trump, even though I'm not a big Trump fan. I understand where because of our human psychology and conditions, the pendulum of reality per se swings to a certain side. And in our case, like in politics, in the politics standpoint, the pendulum has been swinging left democratically for a while, for a long time now. And Trump is the one to, like, in order to get that pendulum from stopping to swing on that side, he's doing things that are like drastically pulling towards the other direction to at least, hopefully, God intervenes here. We have divine intervention where we can stop the pendulum even in the middle, and we can find an even balance of even-mindedness and synchronicity within both sides and parties, because así es la vaina. O sea, somos humanos and we got to keep dancing together, right? Timbaland is the Trump in this scenario, in this analysis, because Timbaland is the one that's pulling the pendulum del lado izquierdo all the way left, and we already been doing everything there and pulling it here so that we can have this conversation. Because we are not the only people, guys. We're not just going to be in our small echo chamber aquí in the United States. I'm in Boston, right? So I'm in Massachusetts. This is el Movimiento del Norte, let's say, including and el Movimiento del Norte, which is the sphere, let's call it, the sphere of artists and fanship, because lo mismo, it's a movement that where the artists are our fans. It's only a movement between the artists and the creators, because we are our own fans, and we're still trying to figure that out until a certain extent so that we can get the ball rolling and grow. But that's another topic for another podcast, another live. But if you take that per se, what we are doing here, and in United States, and you regurgitate that to us in our echo chamber, that's all we know about. That's all we're tuned into. While the rest of the world have all these tools to their access, right? And they could be doing something with it. So Timbaland's like, we got to have this conversation. Trump is putting that mandate for a 10-year AI tool, whatever it is. I got to read on that bill what it is exactly, but it's going to let AI do its thing for the next 10 years, and we have no say. Supuestamente. If that bill gets passed, that's what's going on. So Timbo is on some, hay que hablar de esto ahora mismo, porque if this bill gets passed, and the rest of the world is already ahead of us. Let's say, like, who? I'm sure that there's a lot of countries that are not following what America's doing right now. That they're really not looking at United States as the leader, as their leader at least, especially in these past few years. So it's not to stop them from, like, well, si no lo están haciendo allá en los Estados Unidos and they're not using AI to that capacity, then we're not going to use it, and they're not going to trailblaze that. That's bullshit. That's BS. These other countries are already on it, man. Creating AI artists, creating AI music, creating AI stuff. So Timbaland, for me, I believe he's creating this convo. Pero para decir que that wasn't rage bait is a little disingenuous. Digo yo.
Look, something, I'm explaining what I did to make me come up with this idea. Because
brothers, this is what we're gonna do.
No, I don't think John is upset. Are you upset? You just talking.
I'm not upset.
Tim's not upset. He just talked like that.
I think I want Guru to say that we was arguing.
Look, real quick. What I'm saying, it's not as much you directly, it's anyone that stands on the side of what this is. If it's you, it's Guru, if it's the bald gentleman on the right, whoever
Wait a minute,
it is.
but John, so you start saying I can't use a tool. Hold on.
Right.
Hold on. Just like I got this.
All I'm asking, listen.
I got this ASR here, so if I take my beat,
my brother, just listen. All I'm asking is that I disagree with Tim on the AI and the thing, but I'm being on here and I'm being respectful. So I'm asking you to be respectful to my brother. That's all I'm asking.
I don't think I said anything disrespectful.
He didn't, Goo. He didn't. He's passionate, and I like passionate people. But what I'm trying to ask him, you telling me
the post was disrespectful. Look, the post was disrespectful.
But John,
He's talking about the trolling post, the AI post. This post.
Yo, and
Bueno, ya know what post I'm talking about. With the trolling the artists.
AI is ruining music. Whatever. Go ahead and cry me a river.
O sea, por eso que los tigres, the artists, the independent artists, are feeling some type of way, because that's a shot at us. You know what I mean?
I felt you, dog. I felt where you was coming from. But I'm saying, but you can't just judge me, because I'm not gonna just use a machine just for what it has in it. I'm just using it like this keyboard sampler. I'm telling it what I'm still working. I'm just helping you to elevate my word.
Look, John, to your point about cutting out artists under the hood, bro.
He wrote. If I'm writing something, the AI can't write it. He's a writer,
bro.
We're working together.
Look, movie credits have more people than most music credits. And what we're saying is, when we take a music artist and add digital stuff to it, we're taking all the music people that were behind the scenes of it, all the credits of it, and we're adding even more humans to make visuals for it. So it's not necessarily.
Bro. I don't mean to cut you off. I just you are
replacing artists. It's not about replacing artists.
So what I'm familiar with when it comes to Suno, right? I got a homie. He's been seeing my posts. He's a construction worker. Nigga ain't made a song a day in his life. He gets on Suno. Matter of fact, he goes to ChatGPT. He's like, I want to make a song like blah blah blah. He takes that, puts it into Suno, uses his voice. Suno makes an entire song based off his voice. Now, do you guys think that that's even in the slightest okay? That's where I stand 100% against that. No matter what, that shit should not happen. This is it took me 15 years to learn how to fucking put these bars together, learn how to produce, to learn how to fucking shoot videos. It shouldn't be this quick thing that he's not an asshole, but some asshole comes on and can just write a prompt and now he can make a song. In no way is that okay. I mean, I understand there's a million different people that come along and have to be in a movie or what you're saying. I get what you're saying, bro. But the thing is, AI is not a collaborative thing. It's going to take away from collaboration. Why would I say, if I'm an asshole, right?
That's true.
Why would I want to go out to?
O sea, the way that it worked for me is that I go into AI, I go into Suno, and I put in, the lyrics that I want to put in for the song. I need a choir. I got my background vocals already. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would I go up and hire a choir? How much you think would it cost to hire a choir for each song?
LA to meet up with a bass player to work on some amazing music, have that in-person vibe. If I could just type in a fucking prompt, why would I do that? You get what I'm saying? The cause and effect of this is nuclear. It's Oppenheimer shit, bro. Like what I'm looking at you as is Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer didn't even know what the fuck he was doing. He was just he just did some dumb shit and fucking ruined the world. I mean, everything about it, bro. I'm not double back.
There you have it. So you got it. There you have it. There you have it. All right, guys. So I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer. I'm gonna get some more information, if anything, on what's going on. Ya mañana es lunes, Monday. This happened during the weekend. Right now it's June 8th, right? This happened this weekend, so I'm sure Monday is going to be lit on fire with a lot of things have happened this weekend. Again, with immigration, what's going on out there in LA. It's super sad, man. The protests. These ICE agents coming out masked with military gear, throwing tear gases at people in their car, like before they even do anything, just because they're recording. There's a lot, and that's been going on in this past weekend, man, and it's very sad, and like very concerning, I would say, which is why I'm here, guys, for the first time. I'm an artist turned streamer, not dig it completely. I have skills, I have talent for many things, and I'm just going to start cultivating and developing that. And I'm happy to have y'all with me. The podcast is going to be called Unpack. I'm going to be rolling it out very soon, with its logo and everything. And this is the type of things that we're going to be doing. Just little small episodes, documentary style, or live sessions, and just reacting to things, from the light of artist, producer, engineer, also spiritual conduit, vessel of God, father, dad, proudly, and just a mind. I like to call myself a mindsmith. Let's call it, because just finding the different ways and different perspectives of things and laying them out in an understandable way. That is my goal. So Unpack Podcast, follow me. You'll get most of the content through my artist page, because I'm still creating music and I'm still going to be releasing music. You're just going to get these type of contents now in between. So I hope y'all enjoy. Blessings. Saint Savant. Have a great Sunday. And tomorrow we'll touch back. I'll be live, probably not in this format, but I'll be live again to react to what's going on, everything in light of this. All right, love y'all. Blessings.
Let's unpack that.